Hi everyone, this is Gulab here, and now I'm beginning with part 2 talking about dragons. And I will be beginning in the section called Greek Transition Myth. Before I start here, I like to just speak a little bit saying that dragons are an important part of my life personally, and that my spiritual life, my spiritual focus is around honoring and giving respect to higher living beings who have more powers and more responsibilities in managing the affairs of the universe. And dragons are one of these living beings that they have a lot of power, and they have a lot of influence on the weather and the rains and the storms and stuff like that, as well as many other things. And so there are very, very special beings. And in my view, in my spiritual view, is a polytheistic view, and that is there is a spirit among so many different things, like mountains are spirits, the earth planet itself is a spirit, and all the planets are spirits, and they're all alive, and that each planet is guided by a spiritual, highly elevated soul, and that who is very, very powerful. So these could be called like demigods or goddesses, and they can be female and male, and they come in many, many forms, all sorts of different animal forms and various other forms that we might not even know about, and some human being-like forms as well, or humanoid type forms. So there's many, many gods that are controlling and managing the affairs of the universe and universes, and our planet included. And so I like to offer respect and honor the various gods and goddesses. And there is a dragon god as well, and there's the king of the dragons. So I will continue now with my story. Gaia, Mother Earth, had given a wish-fulfilling tree as a wedding present to Hera, bride of Zeus, and this tree produced wondrous fruit called the golden apples of the Hesperides, daughters of the Western One, the gentle reddish deity of sunset. She decided to keep it where it grew and laden. The 100-headed dragon Naga was appointed to guard the fruit of this tree of knowledge against any thieves. Now her stepson, Heracles, glory of Hera, had to undergo 12 terrible trials as a result of a heinous murder he had committed, and one of the last was to steal the apples from the Virgin Mother, Queen of Heaven. She renewed her virginity once a year at a sacred spring with the help of the Titan Atlas, supporter of the heavens, in exchange for relieving him of his enormous burden for just a few moments. Heracles shot arrows at Ladon as a diversion, but then he struck and killed the dragon, and at last managed to fetch 3 of the golden apples. Atlas was tricked into reclaiming his burden again when Heracles asked for a moment to adjust his position so that he could bear the weight a bit more comfortably. As for Ladon, Hera was distraught over its demise and did it great honor by placing it high in the night sky, where it is coiled to this day. The flying dragon, whose abode is the heavens, is universally recognized as a symbol of the Chinese culture and its people. Chinese refer to themselves as Longtik, Chuanren, that is, descendants of the dragon. It is believed that on rare occasions, dragons have the power to transform themselves into handsome humans who, male or female, can mate with people. For example, former Japanese Emperor Hirohito, 1940, claimed descent from Princess Fruitful Jewel, daughter of a sea dragon king. It is this belief that lies at the root of the dragon as crest or emblem of a royal house. A dragon depicted full face was the exclusive imperial symbol, but other kinds of dragon emblems were used by ministers and representatives of the Chinese emperor, such as the ambans or viceroys. Yu Peng was a peasant who rose to the highest rank and ruled China as its emperor. To legitimize this unheard-of accomplishment, he was the first to claim descent from a dragon. From that time onwards, dragon face was the epithet used to refer to the ruler. Perhaps to encourage the notion of this was more than just a nickname. In Japan, where the lifestyle owes much to China, the ruler adopted the practice of sitting concealed behind a bamboo screen during audiences with visitors. The rains that fertilized the land were attributed to the actions of the dragons, but so were the tremendous and devastating storms that sometimes occurred. These were attributed to the movements of the great celestial dragons as they emerged in the spring or descended to their caves in the autumn. Mentor. The superior kind of Chinese dragon is said to have a great pearl in its throat, which symbolizes its custody of wisdom, but also a lunar eclipse. It is believed that the knowledge of writing was given by a yellow dragon to legendary Emperor Fuxi. This association of the dragon with the fertility of the intellect has a long tradition. We have seen that the historical Buddha, during his meditation under the Bodhi tree, is believed to have been shielded from the elements by a many-headed Naga. In the long line of deities and saints described as having protection from this kind of serpentine creature is a 13th century Cambodian king. He is said to have spent his nights in a golden tower consulting with a 9-headed dragon. He could be accused of not heeding his advisor when there was a drought, flood, or major storm. Dragons were thought to be able to change size. When they were smaller, they could be the cause of minor watery annoyances such as dripping eaves or a leaky roof. On the other hand, according to a Tibetan Lama, on occasions such as a Dharma teaching, the appearance of unexpected water, as when a sink overflows or the basement leaks, is considered an auspicious sign, the approval of the Nagas. Pantak is one of those numbered among Buddha's 16 arhats. He was said to have possessed magic powers that were called upon when Buddha made an expedition to subdue and convert the fierce dragon king Apulala. He could make himself smaller and smaller until he seemed to disappear. When he is shown among the other disciples, he is one depicted charming a dragon into his alms bowl. Longchong, or dragon host, is the Chinese form given for the Indian name that appears in that context. The dragon that is the vehicle of Dorje Chang or Vrajadhar, the Buddhist meditational deity. It is also the emblem of one of the Tibetan Buddhist schools descending from Milarepa. The Garuda, the snow lion, and the tiger are others. That is because the founder of the dragon or Drukpa lineage, Tsangpa Gyar, whose existence was in fact earlier predicted by the Dakinis, some forms of spiritual beings. While looking for a suitable site to build a proper place to spread the teachings of the holy lineage, met with 9 dragons. These auspicious creatures flew up into the sky, followed by a loud clap of roaring thunder. At this site, Tsangpa Gyar decided to build his monastery in this holy place then and there. Therefore, the first monastery, Namdruk Sua Jangchob Ling, was built, located not too far from Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. Based on this remarkable incident, the first time the dragon was associated with our lineage, then it became quite natural for the followers of this lineage, or for that matter, the lineage holder and the lineage itself, to be called the Drukpa or Druk lineage. The dragon is supposed to be an important and auspicious celestial creature, and even Bhutan is commonly called Drukpa or Drukyul, meaning the country of dragon. The Bhutanese people also refer to themselves as Drukpa, meaning people from the dragon country. The Chinese Faxian, and 200 years later, Xuanzang, both visited Shankashya, one of the 8 important places of pilgrimage for Buddhists. It is the site of Buddha's descent from the Tushita heaven and is reputed to be the place on earth where all Buddhas descend. People told both pilgrims that there was a white-eared dragon living close to the monastery, which housed about 1,000 monks and nuns. The dragon cared for the monastery and the whole surrounding area. Faxian's journal entry in particular emphasizes the abundant produce of the land and the prosperity and happiness of the people. In that case, we have the prototypical Eastern type of dragon. It is generally benevolent, the embodiment of divine protection, vigilance, and fertility. In its form that combines fish, reptile, and bird, it has the ability to swim in the seas, fly in the heavens, and coil up in the land where its humped back forms the ridges of mountain ranges. Generous and kind, it wards off wandering evil spirits and protects the virtuous, and the innocent. Therefore, children born in a dragon year of the 12 animal cycle especially are considered to enjoy health, wealth, and long life. All right, I'm going to stop here as a part 2 and continue on with part 3.